joking about the fact that you were a secret and now everybody knows about you. But how much has your life changed since working with her and since she's become so popular and everybody knows about GFC now?
Great, I love it. She's a great athlete, she's the best in the world, and I'm young, I'm 32. Afterwards, I want to have special fighters, but I'm going to be honest, it's going to be hard to find another Ronda Rousey, and after she retires, it might be like, what the hell, what do I do now, I love having dominant fighters, and she's amazing.
But I hope I could. Years with all the boxers and everything too, so it's not like the first one, it's just that she's blowing up maybe more than some other people, yeah?
Yeah, I've worked with champions, 3-weight division world champion Victor Chin, special fighter for me also, but it's hard, to keep maintaining that, and she's something really special, so afterwards we'll see where it goes to. So I'm really happy, but then I'm like, what do I do afterwards? That's it.
She talked about the ups and downs of filming The Ultimate Fighter, and that it wasn't always fun. How was that experience for you?
It was fun. It had its moments, It was hard from the beginning for me to leave the gym and leave all these fighters and get out there and be a part of a team. I believe that this is like a one-man sport. You're in there, it's one fighter. Ronda fights in the octagon, it's her, so that's why I put so much attention on her and so much focus. She's with me for 4 to 6 hours a day. We do training, so I know there's a lot of gyms that do like group classes. We have that going on too, but at top level you need to give that one-on-one attention to the fighter and get into them a little bit mentally as a trainer, and we've been doing that so much, so it was hard for me to leave all this here, the people I have working with alone, and then doing like a group class that are all professional fighters. So we adjusted and we did best as possible, and afterwards one good thing is that we have Shayna and Jessamine now in the gym, part of our team, and I guess it did work out.
Can you talk about her evolution as a stand-up fighter? What have you seen just in the time that you've worked with her?
She's great. She's looking good right now. We put a lot of foundation on her legs, and not just to throw crazy punches out there. These girls come out swinging, put their head down and swing. It's hard, so if it's a boxing match, I would tell her to keep the distance and, keep her jab going and find herself in the ring like a lot of great fighters like Mayweather would do, 3-4 rounds, don't even worry about anything, and then we'll start doing what we're supposed to. You don't have that time in MMA. They come out with those small gloves, head down, start swinging. It's hard, to match the punches, to catch them in counters, and it's a bit difficult. So, but she's learning. That's why in the 3rd round, if you look at the Tate fight, she looked great, and she caught her with a nice right hand, and Tate was out on her feet. So as the rounds go, she'll look much better, and now she's learning to go into fights that people would just let their hands go all crazy and still get the best of it. I didn't teach her that style at the beginning. Why? Because I think it's stupid to get hit with those shots, and I always told her, so we stayed on her legs a lot and establishing that jab, learning accurate boxing, and then, now she's good. Now we have training with people like in Big Bear Gennady Golovkin, I have them sit down and watch her training session, and I tell them if you have any advice, what she's doing, and they're like surprised on her boxing skills. They're like, there's nothing we could say. So if you have Olympic silver medalist, reigning world amateur champion, biggest knockout ratio in boxing history, somebody in the middleweight saying something like that about you, that means this girl could box.
I noticed that too as well, and her working the body shots, her body shots have gotten a lot better. That's something we're going to see maybe in this fight and future fights.
I'm not going to give out what she's going to do, but I'll be honest, we get boxing world champions in here, girls, she drops all of them with body shots too. Yeah. So if you're dropping people with 14-ounce gloves, you guys should be seeing that.
Edmond, what do you think of all the movie stuff and the show business part of, Ronda's such a great athlete, and now she's venturing out there. What are your thoughts on all it?
It's cool, I like it, she gets excited, but when it's camp time, we don't talk about it, and Brad Slater, agent, is great. We work together, we understand that it's time for her to fight right now, so we don't even put our thoughts into movies afterwards. Let her do what she wants, she's going to have some time off.
How much further do you think she could go in the boxing style camp where it's all focused around her versus MMA style camps where guys are all preparing for fights simultaneously? you know, maybe not able to work with each other as much?
It's hard, you know. I put the foundation in her. To put a foundation, I can't have like 10 fighters. Everybody has a different athleticism. Everybody's a different fighter. You have somebody like Jessamine Duke, nice and long, you know, athletic. So she's like 6'1", fights at 35. So the style has to be a bit different. You know, breaking the distance has to be different. Placing your shots have to be a little bit different. And she's not a judo specialist. So putting in time with somebody like Ronda, we needed to fight using what she's best at is her judo, and we have done that, you know. She was with the Sarah Kaufman fight. People were thinking, oh, it's a striker, you know, that was 16-1. It's going to be tough, but you guys see how she gets inside so easy. Nobody else could do that because I believe there's nobody in the octagon that could run away from Ronda. She's got great legs on her. Her pressure, her footwork in boxing is great. So you have to put in the individual attention if you want to have a top-level athlete like that. I can't teach everybody. If I have 20 people in a class, I try to explain that everybody's style. I think it'll take me like 10 hours and we won't do nothing in the class. So, you know, this is the way that we did it. That's why she looks that good. If she wasn't with me, she would still be a UFC champion. Yes, absolutely yes, if we didn't train the way we are. But would it be this way dominant? She says no, so we put in the time with her so we could be dominant like the way she's been doing it.
Who did you bring in for her wrestling for this camp, and how are you prepared to deal with Sara McMann being an Olympic athlete as well?
It's not a problem, you know. Every fight is a problem, actually, I would say. It's a problem to be solved, you know, and we solve it best. And we have three-time Olympian Martin Barbarian as her wrestling coach, and he's won the New York Open. He was actually going to qualify from the U.S. He tore his knee out. He beat John Smith, student that placed bronze in the Olympics, this last Olympics. So he's a three-time Olympian medalist. He's a bronze medalist, so he's awesome. We have him, and then we had the girl that's a Olympic silver medalist wrestler, a Russian girl, training with her. So we got everybody we need. Then we get the boxing world champion, so she does it with all the best in the world. We hire sparring partners. We spend money. We bring in sparring partners that are great amateurs in boxing, have over 150 amateur boxing fights, 11-0 pro, 20-0 pro, and she trains with people like that. That's why she gets better.
Does judo nullify wrestling or vice versa, and this fight ends up being just stand up for the whole 25 minutes?
You know, a lot of people think that all wrestlers beat judo players, but Ronda is not. It's not like it's not judo. She's been wrestling, you know. She hasn't worn a gi for like 3 years, and the way she's boxing, I told boxing, wrestling, she does great. She does everything is great, you know. I told her, I said, if you don't have your judo, you don't have your wrestling, you have just your left hand. Ronda, do you beat everybody out there? She said yes, and I believe that. If Ronda puts her right hand behind her back, she will still beat everybody with the left hand. Nobody will take her down. So I could be the best wrestler Ronda could wrestle.
Gegard and Manny is fighting this weekend. We know that he trains here often when he's in town. How do you think he'll do against somebody like Lyoto Machida?
Gegard had a knee surgery, coming back from a knee surgery, 10 months layoff. I hate that fight. You know, I'm going to be honest. I think that preparing the right way, having the right timing into a fight is very important. But it's, you know, Dana's choice always. He put that fight, and, you know, he's a fighter. He's not going to back down from any fights. Lyoto Machida has a little bit of an edge in that area because he just fought. He looked good against Mark Munoz. So I would like to see if, you know, how Gegard performs if his knee was good and he just had a fight. Just, you know, it could have been a bit equal. I'm going to be honest, you know, as a trainer's point of view. But Gegard is always dangerous, and he's my boy, so I'm rooting for him.
Do you like him at 185 pounds more than at 205?
I do. Gegard, you know, if Gegard trains hard and keeps the discipline, he's strong at 185, and he could do it.
And also Manny Gambourian. We love Manny. He's gone through some injuries and stuff. What's he up to lately? How's he feeling?
He's feeling good. He was in the gym last week training. He feels good. He's feeling much better.
And he's going to stick with this for a while still to come, yes?
Yes, still to come. He's going to stick in it, for sure.
How much crazier things now here? I mean, this type of stuff. How crazy has it gotten a lot with her? And can that be distracting having this much attention, this many people in the room?
No, we try to keep away as much as we can the media, and we've been doing a good job. But, you know, it is what it is. She's the main event. She needs to build this fight, and we do understand that. So we've been just working as we go, you know. We're learning, too. Something new, of course.
Ed, you trained Vic for his last fight with Nolito.
Yes.
Where's he at right now? When's he
Vic
coming
wants to
back?
do MMA. He called me and he's being honest. He said, I'm coming down there and I just need like 3-4 inches and then I'll punch somebody and break somebody's jaw even on the ground. I'm like, dude, it's not about only 3-4 inches. He goes, no. All I need is just a little bit distance and if I hit him, I'll break him. And I believe that, you know, he's so strong. And he called me. He said he's coming down next week, actually. He might even make it to Ronda's fight. He's going to start wrestling and he wants to do MMA. He actually gave him a fight already in Australia already. Good pay and he's happy. He wants to do it.
As a flyweight?
Yeah. And
When is this fight in Australia?
yeah, he said maybe end of April.
End of April?
Yeah, end of April. So he was excited, and he said talked to the manager too. He got Top Rank to approve it. Actually,
Frank's cool with it?
Yeah, Frank's cool with it. He spoke to Frank. Actually, I spoke to Frank, and they spoke together. He said he's cool with it. So, but he wants to. He should fight for the 4th weight class. I think Nonito down there. He looked sharp. I mean, Vic looked great. He boxed well. He followed instructions. He made a little mistake, and anything could happen. Nonito's tough, good jaw. He took a lot of shots, and his face was all bad. And he outboxed Nonito Fighter of the Year 2012, and he's 38, and he's awesome, man. So I was happy with his performance until we got caught, but it's part of boxing, I guess.
When is he back boxing?
Let's see. He wants to do an MMA fight before he boxes, he says. So we'll see.
We good? Thanks, Evan.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.